One.
Morning.
Everybody got your long handles out and insulated ski jackets and all that kind of stuff. I understand it's get a little cold before we see each other again in this room, so be prepared, as they say, okay? All right, Washington County Commissioners Court is now in session Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Commissioner Majewski.
Yeah, we'll have Deacon Al Prescott with St. Mary's Legion Invocation, then we'll do the pledges.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
A little bit of anxiety this morning. Matter of fact, I wrote a prayer about anxiety, and I don't know why. Now I know why, because my wife at 8:36 this morning says, "Hey, Al." I said, "Yes." "She's supposed to be in Commissioner's Court?" I said, "Yeah." "Hey, Al, it's 8:36. I live in Chapel Hill. I'm glad the sheriffs were not on 290, okay, and all of that. So my anxiety, I experienced it, but we do have a lot of anxiety going on now with the society, with money, with elections, and what are we going to do next in the whole world. We know what's going on in Minnesota and in the rest of the world, so. And we worry about things like that. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, we are prone to worry. We let the happenings of the world, the upcoming elections, and the economy sit heavy on us. We need to find your peace. We invite you to restructure our thinking. May our hope be in you. May our peace be you. May you help love flow out from us and give us clarity. May we change what we are able to change and release what we can't. May we know that the greatest joy is staying where you are. God, thank you that you have the whole world in your hands. We need not fear because you are the best manager, orchestrator, and caretaker. You made it all. We believe in your plan. Amen.
Amen.
Our pledges. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Deacon Al. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on the approval of pending Washington County Expo rental regulations contracts. This morning we have 2 of those, a baby shower and the FFA's having a chili drive-through fundraiser.
I make a motion to approve the Washington County Expo rental regulation contracts and give the judge permission to sign.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, discussion and possible action on the approval to adopt Washington County's 2026-2030 strategic plan. Mr. Williams?
All right. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. All right. So I put together a brief presentation on this covering the whole plan process that we did over last year. As y'all recall, we hired SGR to handle the facilitation and basic framework component of this project, just for memory, and then the rest was left up to the county. So, Carrie, next slide. So here's the overall timeline. We did this May, June, July, September, October, and we're here for the final delivery in January. I believe y'all got a copy of it. If not, I have the printed final for y'all as well, and for signing today. Carrie. So for everyone's clarification, the plan itself is broken down in a few different components, the executive summary, and then the plan is structured into overarching priorities with goals and then initiatives for each area, along with support materials in the back and many more. Carrie. All right, so the priorities that the court and community came together and kind of agreed upon were infrastructure, economic development, growth management, public health and safety, and operational effectiveness. So for the sake of brevity, I just went through and pulled out a couple different goals for each initiative, or for each area. There are more than just the two that we'll go over for each one. So an example for the infrastructure section was to maintain and improve the roads as the overarching goal. And then with the initiatives of revisiting the road use agreement and improve the general road conditions. As the commissioners, as we have seen at prior meetings, this does include the workbook that will plug into the ClearGov software that y'all purchased earlier in the year to continue to y'all's commitment to transparency and accessibility. Next one, Carrie, economic development are to improve recruitment and expansion and to utilize destination development for economic diversification. Carrie. Growth management, always a fun one and a hot button issue. If I recall from all of our public engagement sessions, was a very common area of concern. So to update and enhance policies and update the subdivision manual, since that is pretty much one of the only tools that counties have for a degree of regulation. And then stewarding water resources, there are many different water preservation options. I know the court is currently working on examining which ones would be the best fit for our county. Next. All right, public health and safety. This was a very, very long and has many goals and initiatives associated with it, but I just pulled out two: to improve the dispatch and improve the emergency management program. Next one, and the operational effectiveness of increasing communication and engagement and supporting our county employees as needed. We were seeing that to be a continued one. So after y'all approve this today, it will be publicly available on the county's website under the county information tab. And in there, we will add a line that says county strategic plan. So it should be about 3 clicks away from once you are on the county website. And that's it. Quick and easy. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I just have a comment. I think that this is our roadmap for the future. So I think it's imperative that we maintain a annual or semi-annual review. I think we discussed that in one of the workshops. So that we are making sure that the initiatives are being followed through. It's not something that we put together so we could sit it on a shelf. So I think it's something we definitely need to be very cognizant of, making sure that we follow through.
I think it's really important to point out the community's input. The 4 meetings, each precinct had a meeting of the constituents, were able to attend and give their input. That's not just 5 people sitting here saying, I think this is a good idea.
So there was a steering committee made up of different individuals from the public. Then we did open engagement sessions with every single precinct. We had an online survey available to the entirety of the county. And then we had well over a dozen individual sector-style engagement meetings as well. I think we really set the bar high for community engagement on this process.
And additionally, all of the department heads are syncing their department goals into this as well, so it can be used for budgeting purposes.
Correct.
Right, and I haven't seen the format or how it's going to be on the website, but I just wanted to make sure that there would be hyperlinks, because obviously we had talked about how there's a lot of overlap with this strategic plan and many of the different departments' strategic plans, so I just kind of wanted to put it out there to make sure that there would be hyperlinks in case people wanted to
As we went
reference
through
those.
this process, one of the requirements was that we pull all the support material is a vague and term, unfortunately. But the material, there was no collective database for our county of whether it was economic development, workforce information, all the different types of data we were required to pull together. So when you click on that tab, there'll be the plan and then links to the departmental strategic tabs, all the stuff we had to get from the COG, the region.
Can we go back to that picture?
Yeah, that picture.
It's gonna be there.
It's going to be there under that county information tab. Media, did y'all get that for the sake of?
Once the website transfers over, are there any ideas as to what that would look like?
I would assume it would follow the same structure, but I have not been involved in that project. Good question, Josh.
The ClearGov, is that what we're referring to?
No, so the ClearGov is where the tasks and initiatives component will build out, and then the physical plan, it's
It was, what was it called?
Civic
Plus?
Civic Plus.
Yeah.
The physical plan itself will sit under that tab until the county migrates over to Civic Plus, and whatever that looks like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but stay committed to easy access.
I would imagine it would be easier to navigate, but
One would
we
hope.
haven't seen the interface yet, so.
One would hope.
And just also for everybody's input, there was a committee made up of staff to help go through this process, and I really want to thank Harrison, Kevin. You really worked hard to get all those meetings together and served as the liaison for the court, so thank you for your work. Appreciate that.
Okay. Looking for a motion.
I make a motion to adopt the Washington County's 2026 to 2030 strategic plan.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Item number 5, presentation of the 2025 Washington County Historical Commission's report. Ms. Charlie, Mr. Stevenson is not with us today?
I have not heard from Mr. Stevenson.
Well, we know you're capable. I just look
Yeah,
at it.
we'll
It's
see.
just so unusual not to see you.
It is very unusual, and I'd like to, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity. Washington County Historical Commission has been led by Tom Stevens for the last 5 years. Kudos and accolades to him for making this a very active organization and pursuing the goals of the organization for preservation of the historical heritage of Washington County, continuing surveys of markers and working with organizations to preserve the history. You guys have our report in front of you. We have several projects going on, Untold Stories, Early Citizens, Gone to Texas, which is a program that Tom put together with the Boys and Girls Club. So this is Tom's report and Tom's year, and I took over this month a few weeks ago, and just like to say thank you to everyone who's been involved in here. We have first-person reenactments, Survivors of the Alamo. We put that on at Brenham Junior High, Burton Junior High, the Cannery, and then Burnham Heritage Museum was gracious enough last week to allow us to present that. We had a brick room full of 100 people listen to this presentation, so it was very gratifying. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
No, I just, we have had a very active group and in a community and a county where our heritage is so rich and so deep. It's a blessing to have a group that's so committed to preserving our historic everything.
Well, and we'll carry it forward. You know, we have people like Kathy Parker, David Lancaster, Dr. Tina Henderson, just Steph Jarvis, people across the board just pursuing different projects that are wildly successful and very, very important to the community. And so really proud of that and very honored to be able to take over for Tom.
Can you elaborate just a little bit? The last time Mr. Stevens gave a report, he indicated some excavations going on or going to go on along New Year's Creek in that area. Can you elaborate how that's going?
That is continuing to go forward. I know that they found a couple of more cooking sites, a clay kiln. This is on private property, so I've been asked not to disclose that. But there's some very interesting discoveries that have been made. I was a little dismayed when Tom talked about that across many counties in Texas, there are many digs and many geological and archaeological projects. We have 2. And so we're working on that, and we're going to change that, and very excited about what's been found. and we're really anxious to go forward with that.
Good, appreciate
Yes.
your work on that.
And thank you for your support, and I'll be back. We're going to have some additions to our historical commissions very soon, and be looking forward to your approval for those. Thank you so much.
Well, and it's proof positive that there probably should be more gigs when you have 501 historical markers in your county.
We got work to
So
do.
we do know that we're a historical community, so.
Indeed, and
Definitely proof
we
of
do
that.
it with, that's an ongoing survey, and it's put on by Steph Jarvis, and give me a list, and we all go out and chase them down and figure them out and repair them and stand them back up and all those things. So again, thank you so much for your support.
Well, I think this opportunity to thank Mr. Stevens for what he's done the last 5 years and brought that committee, just elevated the activities so much. And we appreciate you stepping in, fill those shoes.
I've said this before, it's a tough act to follow, but we're going to persevere. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Item number 6, discussion and possible action of approval of conversion of the Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 clerk position from part-time to full-time, effective immediately. Judge Sweener?
Commissioners, Judge, thank you. Hopefully this is the second to last time I have to come before you. We're readdressing an area of our budget proposal for this year where we requested that possibility of an increase of the part-time position to a full-time position to make the necessary training achievements so that when I leave office and the clerk leaves office, the incoming judge will have hopefully an up and ready to go clerk, ready to manage the office when he or she takes office. Looks like he, but anyway. But anyway, that's what we're here today. We've had the position, we were hoping maybe part-time might be able to do it. The first hire we had stayed with us 5 months and then was hired away for full-time clerk employment in another agency. Our second hire just said for what was going on, the part-time was just not going to do the job. So we've lost 5-6 months of valuable training time. Hopefully, if we can get this going, we'll have the rest of this year to get the clerk trained up, at least to get ready to help the new judge that comes in. And that's what we're here asking for you to do. She has all the number information, so if you've got questions about that, you can ask her.
Yeah, and Judge, you guys are gonna have a software conversion too. Is that gonna happen within this year?
I
Right?
believe
It's
I
still scheduled for this year,
Talked to
right?
Judge Riddle, I think so, this morning. I think that's something that's going to happen.
So it's very important to note that that's gonna require a lot of extra
Training, right.
work and training.
Right.
So I think having an experienced clerk pass
And I-
that on
Yeah.
is gonna be much more valuable.
And
for
I have
that
to
office.
thank my clerk, Beth Schramm, because she's the one that's training this person. She has 34, 35 years of experience to pass on to a new person, and we certainly don't want that lost and not utilized. So,
And for the press's benefit, this is not an additional FTE per se. It's just temporary for this
Budget year.
calendar
Yeah.
year. Yeah, this budget year.
So when Ms. Schramm retires, the budget will actually go back to actually lower than what it is now. So
Right.
it's just for the purposes of training, that's all.
And Ms. Skolka, would you give the numbers for the difference in the part-time to the full-time so that everybody understands what that is?
Yeah, I actually don't have the part-time, I do have the full-time, so the total cost is $65,000, that's with benefits included, that's if the individual takes full family coverage. Anticipated for the rest of this year's spending would be somewhere around $60,000 because we've lost a month, and then it takes a little bit to get hired, so. I do wanna say that budget has somewhere around 30,000 in it though currently, so,
Yeah, I believe it's 30,000.
I believe so,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the first time.
I was focused on the full-time.
Well, I make a motion to approve the conversion of the Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 clerk position from part-time to full-time effective immediately.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, been seconded twice. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schramm.
Thank you. Yes.
I didn't see her back.
Yeah, I didn't either until
Thank-
just now.
Thank you, Beth Ann.
Thank you,
Appreciate it. Item number 7, discussion and possible action of approval to accept the HAVA HAVA Election Security Grant Award in the amount of $87,411 with the required local matching funds of $17,482.20. Ms. Jackson.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I'm probably going to read what I've written down so I can make sure I tell you guys everything because of the timelines. Actually, we were approved for the HAVA grant security sub-grant that was offered by the Secretary of State in last year, and it was approved by the court June 17th, 2025. At that time, also, a resolution was signed by the commissioners that gave me the authority to act on behalf of the county. So the original grant was approved for $42,500. And so in September, the Secretary of State gave us the opportunity to increase our funding request. And so I did that so that we can have enough money to fund our project in ordering new equipment. And so in December 2025, we were actually approved for $87,411, which is $44,911 above what we originally had, which is 51%. So I took advantage of the opportunity, knowing that these funds would enable the county to acquire equipment that would improve voter privacy, increase ballot counting accuracy, and assist judges in reconciling the ballots and voter counts at their polling location. So our intentions are to purchase for 13 more, well, I don't want to say more, because the ones that we're asking for are DS300s, which are simply an upgrade from the DS200s. That's all it is. But the county has been using DS200s during early voting since 2019. So we've been using these a while. This is not something new. However, we've just been using it in early voting. Now we see the need, I see the need to utilize these DS300s at each polling location. The scanners identify overvotes, undervotes, and irregularly marked ballots. That means that when a voter inserts their ballot into the scanner, the tabulator, then that tabulator is either going to reject or ask them a question. It's not going to just deposit the ballot. Let's say they mark two candidates in one race, then that DS 300 is actually going to stop and ask that voter. It's not going to process the ballot all the way. It's just going to stop and ask the voter if that's their intentions. And then sometimes, it's not their intentions. They didn't see the back of the ballot, or they marked two thinking that because they marked an X through one, that it's actually going to go through. But it doesn't do that. So we have to spoil that ballot and allow that voter to start all over again with a new ballot. So with this equipment being used on election day, as we do early voting, the voter adjudicates their own ballot in real time before casting it. Without the use of the scanners, the central counting station would have to determine the voter's intent to resolve an irregularly marked ballot. The voter resolving their own ballot is important because they know who and how they want to vote. The county has acquired all of the voting equipment in our possession using HAVA grants, and I'm asking the court for approval and acceptance of the HAVA Election Security Grant in the amount of $87,411 with the required matching funds of $17,482.22 to be paid by the county. Any questions?
And these are just counting machines, not?
They're counting, they're scanning the ballot as well. So it provides the same privilege of when it scans the ballot, it actually takes a picture of the ballot. And then also it it counts the ballot as well. So it's a scanner and a tabulator. And the judges will actually bring in a thumb drive and the ballots in a locked box and bring it to the central counting station, but they don't have to be counted again. It's just like early voting. Once they're in that scanner, they're done.
Yeah, Ms. Carroll, I want to thank you because during budget, you brought this to us and you expressed the need for it. And the court was just overwhelmingly appreciative of us getting this stuff. So the matching funds pair in comparison to what we're getting from the state. So
Exactly.
thank you for going after that grant. Yes.
In regards to your example about the voter who marked two candidates for the same position, cannot the ballot be reinserted and be accepted that was the voter's intent?
It can be, but in the case that it's not, it's rejected back to the voter.
But the voter can make it, that was my intent, it goes through.
That's correct. They can also insert the ballot that's not marked, but it has to be their intent. So our intentions are to make sure that voter adjudicates their own ballot at the polling location. So therefore, we have it at early voting, we'll have it on election day. At this point in time, for election day, they have metal ballot boxes. They're not adjudicated or resolved until they come to Central County Station. At that time, it's too late for the voter to adjudicate their own ballot and make corrections or whatever. The Central County Station manager and judge will do that. And they have to determine the voter's intent.
No.
Well, we don't really know what the voter's
This is a
intent
big
is.
improvement. Let the voter make that decision
Yes.
right there. Okay.
Charlotte?
In regard to this is I've worked early voting and seen it in action. People respond well to it because it gives them an opportunity if they've made an error to correct their own error at that moment.
Absolutely. It's a big improvement.
And Ms. Jackson and I visited about funding as well, and she has an elections fund, but she's using around 8,000 of that to pay for some upgrades, so she doesn't have any available funding to cover the 17,000.
So we're gonna pull it from other?
Other contingency.
Yeah, other.
Well, we talked about that in budget because we didn't know if we were going to get the grant at that
Didn't know
time.
where you
So,
were gonna be at that
Correct,
time
correct.
either,
so we did discuss the potential of taking it out of that.
Yeah.
But it is, we did feel it was a good
Absolutely.
opportunity for us to
Thank
do
you
so.
for explaining that though, Michelle.
Yeah. And the extra monies that she's talking about are the contract funds. Whenever I contract with the county to do that, conduct their election, even numbered year, when we don't have to, I contract with those counties to make sure that elections stay consistent. And we're gonna have to answer questions. They're gonna come to us anyway, so we may as well, conduct their elections. And then on the odd number year, during the odd number year, we're required by law to conduct the elections of those entities that request. And so we do gain money for that. And that has to go into a separate fund, and that's what we do.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve and accept the HAVA Elections Security Grant Award in the amount of $87,411 with the required local matching funds of $17,482.20.
A second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Thank you, thank you.
Item number 8, discussion and possible action on the approval of a final plat for Maplewood subdivision located on FM 2935, consisting of 12 lots in the P&A Hope Survey A-62, Precinct 3. Mr. Stoltz.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, we do have the final plat application for the Maplewood subdivision before you. The parent tract for Maplewood is approximately 19.4 acres located on 2935, approximately 1,000 foot south of the Newman Road intersection. What they are proposing is 12 lots at an acre and a half apart, with to be served by a 850 foot long section of roadway that they are proposing to be named Maplewood Lane. That particular roadway is being proposed as a hot mix asphalt roadway. And with that said, we do have TxDOT approval for access to 2935, as well as the stormwater discharge for on-site and upstream discharge, which will go to the Bar Ditch and down to Big Sandy Creek. With that said, they do meet all of the county requirements and state requirements for subdivisions, and we are recommending approval of this subdivision.
Are there any questions about this subdivision?
It's pretty cut
I make a
and dry.
motion to approve the approval of the final plat for Maplewood subdivision located along FM 2935, consisting of 12 lots in the P&A Hope Survey.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Stoltz. Item number 9, discussion and possible action on the approval of accounts payable. Ms. Kramer?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today, we're going to be paying $927,715.20 worth of bills. It's a lot of service contracts for the year in there. The monthly helicopter stuff, that's all budgeted for. A couple of things for the road and bridge.
CapEx, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big ticket items, but
Big ticket items.
it's all been in the budget.
Enterprise bills.
Yeah, that's in there too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good old enterprise.
I make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.